Ooh, it's another spooky episode of Cartoon BOO-foons, where we're going to be talking about dead pilots. I am your creepy host, Wyatt, and who is here with me today as always?
Ooh, hello, I'm Morgan. I'm the mummy that Libby looks like from Jimmy Neutron.
And yes, we're here to talk about some more failed pilots from the depths of the crypt.
Another pilot pile-up, everybody.
Yeah.
We're in traffic. My kids died in a car crash. Let's go.
These are, they're fun episodes
They are.
However, this is a pretty hit and miss batch of pilots that we got here, because there's
I feel like we're always saying that. I feel like that's always the case.
But there's some extremely mid ones in this one, so that we're going to need to go over that, including the first one that we're talking about, which is Ferret and Parrot.
Oh man,
what was this pilot?
What is this? What was this? Hold on, let me just preface by saying the parrot's cute.
I
think the parrot is cute. That might just be the only thing I can say about this pilot besides, like, the parrot is cute.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, actually, I'm going to say what the plot is so you guys can, like, at home can, like, really get what this was and how nothing it is. It's about a guy who owns a parrot and a ferret. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've had a lot of pilots, a lot of cartoons around this time, and a lot of pilots around this time. They do the Ren and Stimpy thing of, like, the smart dumb guy and the dumb guy. Mm-hmm. This is kind of like that, but taken to its logical extreme of, like, smart dumb guy, actually an intelligent ferret, and then dumb guy is
a normal
literally
parrot.
just a normal parrot that has no personality or anything. He just, like, repeats the words back to the ferret. I think this pilot was created because the guy thought the words ferret and parrot sounded good because it rhymed. And then he was like, all right, guys. All right, Cartoon Network, Mike Lazo, I got a pitch for you, buddy. And then came to them with that. Art style, pretty good. It looks like
pretty good. I do, yeah. I like the way the parrot and the ferret are drawn, which is important.
It looks a lot like the Clerks cartoon. You know, it has, like, that same sort of, like, that late 90s, early 2000s, like, the big, thick outlines and the, like, everything like that. But not quite the same as, like, Powerpuff Girls or Dexter's Lab.
I do want to say, I think this has really solidified something I've always thought. Mm-hmm. We need to stop making cartoons about normal animals. I think not a single one has ever done well. Pinky and the Brain is, like, the exception.
Yeah.
That makes the rule. Can you think of a single cartoon about a normal animals that are owned by people that just, like, is good and, like, did well?
That isn't, like, Tom and Jerry or whatever, which is, like, it's
I'm talking about, like, from after 1998. After 1998, does it work? I think no. I think no is just the fucking answer.
No, yeah, I can't think of that, because every time I think of, like, a cartoon that involves an animal, it's like an anthropomorphic animal or, like, an animal buddy.
Yeah, they, like, go to school, or, like, they're not the only main character. Like, just stop it. Enough.
Yeah. I think we do need to stop, like, these pet shows, these shows where it's from the perspective of the pets. I mean, we eventually, for Cartoon BOO-foons, there's a couple down the line that I'm like, that don't look very good, that are like those kind of shows. Like Bunnicula is one of those.
What the fuck did you just call me?
It's Bunnicula. There's a Boomerang show. I guess we'll be doing Boomerang
Stop
shows,
saying slurs, dude.
Yeah,
what is a Bunnicula? I don't like it.
But there's just not much to say about this. It's just like the owner of these two animals is, like, a big dumb guy, and then he's like, we gotta get the ants out of here, and then he puts the ant traps, and then they
try to catch ants.
Yeah, and then the ferret's like wants to eat an ant or something.
No, he wants to take an ant because he wants to take another ferret that he saw in a magazine that's not real on a date. It's just No, I can't. Not very good, man.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
It's not very good.
Just super. It reminds me of like the last episode where we watched like the first pilot of that, the Yeehaw and Doodah. And I remember seeing that and being like, that wasn't like great, but at least that it inspired a little bit more emotion out of me than this.
Yeah, like this is like the shitty Chris Savino one about the cats. Like,
oh yeah, except for even worse. Anyway, this is like 2 stars.
I've given this a 2 because I do like the art style. I do like.
Yeah.
If they sold a plush of the parrot from this, I would buy it. The parrot's very cute. So yeah, just 2. This is. Man, it's dire. Stop making shit about pets, guys. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Stop making shit about pets.
And then we get to probably the most well-known.
Oh man.
Of the
internet royalty pilot over here.
Yeah, Kitty Bobo. This is because of the video that Pan Pizza made talking about pilots, and this is one of them. Probably why it's so well known. But it is also like, you know, it was relatively highly rated on like the Big Pick, right? It was like 3rd or 4th, I think, because like remember we were going through it and we found out that like, yeah, Kids Next Door wins, but then
it was just like,
but then Kitty Bobo, it was like pretty high up there, and so was Swoop. So like, who knows the alternate universe where either one of those could have won. I think Kitty Bobo probably never would have won, even if it won. Because it's just not quite the vibe on Cartoon Network at this time.
This thing was PyCon to Kids Next Door's Goku. Like, it's a fun little thought experiment to think about. What if PyCon won? But PyCon was never going to win. This is such a weird cartoon to have be pitched to Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
No show has screamed MTV more to me than this goddamn thing.
Especially it feels very much like Downtown on MTV.
Downtown. Fucking put this next to Mission Hill and no one would wink at all, blink at all.
That's the problem. Is it was right before Adult Swim became like a thing. So like this, there's a couple pilots for Cartoon Network that were put on Adult Swim, stuff like Eltingville, which we'll probably be doing soon, like in the pilot up anyway. Like those are things that were produced for Cartoon Network, but then were aired in like Finkel Files and stuff like that were aired on Adult Swim. And I'm like, why wasn't this one of those? Like this would have been, this is like, why didn't they just repitch it to Adult Swim? Or like, could they not do that? Like, did they have to like, it was just locked in for Kids Cartoon Network? Because it's not about kids in like any way. It's not about like
fucking 20-year-olds, dude.
Yeah, they're like 20. They have jobs. Like there's a moment where Kitty Bobo calls the girl Megan. No, it's not Megan. That's the creator. Like the girl Maggie. That's it. And
yes, Maggie.
And she's at an office job, and I was like, what? They're not like teenagers.
No, they're like grown ass adults. Let me just say also, guys, don't look up Maggie on the internet. Side thing. Wyatt, enough of this. What did you think of this?
I thought it was pretty good. I would I would watch a show based on this. It wasn't the most funny pilot in the world. It was just it was entertaining, and the art style I think really carried it.
I think this is funny. We've watched pilots that I think have been really funny, but had no legs. Mm-hmm. This wasn't that funny. The art style's good, but it had a lot of legs.
Yeah,
I could see this going for a long time, and I think that might be more important than being funny for a pilot. Like,
yeah, I think comparing this to like Utica Cartoon, which is a similar type of thing of like, that's more of like loser 20-year-olds, doing nonsense. Like that's very regular show, proto regular show sort of vibe. That is a very funny cartoon.
Extremely funny.
But it ends in a way where it's like, well, the characters get arrested. So like, who even knows what's going to go on from there? Like you could just see every episode being a reset, and that's fine. But, I could see it going forward. But this is like very slice of life, very chill. And I think it is just like a vibe thing more than it is oh haha it's super funny, because there wasn't really, I would say in general, only one of these cartoons that we're going to talk about
is funny.
Made me like laugh very hard.
I think also one thing about that, I do like how even if it's animals cultural, this cartoon feels. I had to look it up. I was like, most of the cast on this is Asian, and it was made from Megan's perspective of like being like adopted, and I think it's neat. I was like, why is Kitty Bobo's parents' dog? Like, oh, there it is. Okay.
I saw that later where it was like, oh, it's because one of the creators, like, he was adopted, like, he's Korean, but then he was adopted by American parents.
Yeah, like I didn't find it funny. But I think, and this is a very mean thing I'm about to say, everybody, I think Dante Bosco cut this thing's legs from underneath it for me.
Yeah, you just find him very annoying.
Yeah, I get it. Kitty Bobo is annoying, but I've hit the point in my life where I hear Dante Bosco's voice, and my eyes glaze over, and I start floating like I'm possessed by it. Like, oh man, he's annoying.
To be fair, this is before...
this is before he made Zuko and Rufio his entire fucking personality. Yeah.
This is before Jake Long. This is before Zuko, so...
Yeah, but this is like it's like backwards poisoned he did. Like
like retroactively poisoned. Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, Dante Bosco is probably the only voice actor I recognize from this. Like, I have no idea who voices any of the other characters.
I know Chris Williams a little bit, but that's because he acts and stuff. Like, he's like in other shit. But that's But
yeah, I agree that it is one of those pilots where as soon as I finished it, I was like, I could watch, like, if this was like some indie animation on YouTube and somebody made an episode per month or whatever, and and it's like 5 minutes, I'd be like, I would watch through it and get like attached to these characters to some degree. So yeah, I did really enjoy it. It wasn't like top of the cream of the crop, for me. Just because like I have my own personal tastes.
Same.
And it's like this, and I like, a lot of people fucking love this style of show, and good for them. And I'm fine with like the slow burn situational comedy, that kind of stuff too. But as far as like cartoons go, I tend to like more absurd comedy and things. We just did Billy and Mandy, and that's one of my favorite cartoons. So
I don't know. I think I'm actually more down to earth, I think, across the board, probably, if I'm being honest. But like this works fine. Like, this works fine. It's one of those. This is a pilot that's weird because like this pilot itself, I don't think has a lot to eat.
Yeah.
But it proves its concept, so it's a bummer it didn't go forward. And I think that we're not going to get a lot of those, I don't think, across the board of like, this thing should have been made more of, but I don't have a lot to say about the pilot. Like, it's interesting. So what should you give it? Number?
I would. Man, this is kind of tough because like I feel like 3 might be too harsh sounding.
I gave it 3.5 was what I said.
Yeah, because I would say like it would be 4 if it was like a little bit more funny.
Yeah. If it was funny before.
Yeah. But I do think it is like I think for all of the pilots or whatever that people have latched onto, it makes sense, especially because it has like the furry angle to it. And let me tell you, before we coming into this podcast, we were discussing the fact that there's some interesting art that Megan Dunn, the artist for the show, has retweeted involving Maggie on her personal Twitter, where we're like, oh man. She's just like, well, might as well retweet any Kitty Bobo fan art I find, in this day and age. So.
Dude, it was based on her life. She's allowed to retweet those fat cat asses if she wants, Live your fucking truth.
Yeah, she's like, that's my big ass and feet in this picture.
All right, enough of that. No. What's the next one? Shut up.
Commander Cork. This one, was very funny in my opinion.
This one was super funny.
Yeah, this one had exactly what I wanted from it. I was afraid that it was going to be, kind of in the same, like, because we've seen like a couple of these like superhero or space guy sort of things,
and they're not funny usually.
Yeah, there was like the one, I can't remember it, but it was like one that felt very like Venture Bros.
Yeah, the Boomer superhero one. That one was good. That one was pretty good. Yeah.
And then there was like one way early on where I was like a crab, and that one sucked.
And then we had to watch all of Time Squad, which anyway. But yeah, this was really fucking funny. I think the reason why it's funny is, I think the joke isn't that he's a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
I think the joke is that he's dog shit at it. Like, I think a lot of times these things make jokes like, haha, superheroes as a whole is a dumb concept. But no, the concept is that this guy is one specific superhero in this armada that just sucks shit. And I think that's really funny. Like,
yeah. And we get some new, or not new, but we get more Cat Susie, and she's like one of the sidekick characters, and she's great as always. It's just like such a funny, like, there's just so many moments that are fun. First of all, gotta mention it, the creature that is like created out of anger looks like a Kremzeek from Transformers. Like it's
pretty good.
It has the the exact same color scheme and like the jack-o'-lantern face and everything. Second, the fucking way that it's resolved. I laughed so hard.
Okay, so hold on, for reference, the monster's made from the anger of like the superhero. So he's like, I know how to deal with this anger. I'm gonna go to my happy place, and he goes to this happy place and quiets. And the anger like this. What is this place? Oh, this is my happy place. Great, this is mine now. Wait, what? He's like, wait, I need this to cope. And the monster goes, too bad, and throws him out of his own mental happy place and steals it from him. And he's like, oh, that's going to have repercussions. And just it's really fucking funny.
And that's how that's resolved. Like, it's so stupid and so, again, it's like so absurd that it just made me laugh so hard.
This thing has like a very good balance of a very fun, mean-spirited comedy happening in here. Like, just like something like this, like, oh, think about all the things that went wrong in your life. They laughed at me in the showers. Everyone thinks I'm stupid, but it's okay. I can go to my happy place. I'm happy there, and it just doesn't matter because it gets stolen at the end. It's really funny.
Yeah, this is like before in the pilot, like when he's getting like brutally tortured by the villain, like he goes into his happy place, and like so it's like set up beforehand. Just very funny. But there's really not much to. Again,
it's just a very funny. I can see. However, I will say, I think this would need to be shorts between shows. I don't know if I want to see 9 minutes of this.
Yeah, because we got fucking Time Squad, and that's very similar to this, but with like a different gimmick or setup or whatever, and that kind of like, that's a totally fine cartoon, but. I don't know. So I would definitely give this, it's not a shining example of a cartoon that I need to see or anything. So I think 4 stars is totally good for this. But that makes sense. I really enjoyed it. It probably is my favorite of, like, clearly my favorite, because I don't think the rest are. I mean, we'll get to it.
We're going to Discourse. We're on Discourse because my favorite is not up yet, and I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Well, next one up is Jeffery Cat.
This is my favorite one.
Okay. I have a dark secret here. I completely forgot to watch this one.
Oh, you fucking piece of shit. My God.
So I need you to sell me on this one.
Cartoon BOO-foons is canceled. I will instead be torturing Wyatt on a torture wheel and recording it.
I was looking, it's like, all right, I send him, blah, blah, Ferret the Parrot, Kitty, Bobo, Commander Cork. And like, as I was looking them up last night to watch them, I just glazed over Jeffery Cat and went straight to Fungus Among Us and Colin Versus the World. And then I went to bed being like, yeah, that was 6, right? And then,
Jesus. So this one is kind of lost media. It has a really bad can rip of it.
Yeah, but, I have skimmed through. I was like skimming through it, and I was like looking at it. I do really like the art style.
Dude, favorite art style out here. I love the way the dog and the cats are drawn in such a funny anthropomorphized style, but also are so cute. Basically, this show is just a parody of Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
That's the entire thing. And if someone's been watching a lot of it, that's enough for me to be like, I'm fucking locked in, baby. So it's even the episode's called Claw and Order, and he's with the SVU unit, which is I think like the pet unit, but I can't remember what SVU stands for. It's so good.
It's not Special Victims Unit.
It's not special. That would be really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's right.
If it was Special Victims Unit, but no. So yeah, the premise is that a guy gets bitten, and everyone wants to blame the dog, but Jeffery Cat is like, nah, it's not the dog. Let's look into it, and he just investigates it with his partner, Jasper Dog. And they look into it. There's a lawyer they work with. I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, it does the whole Law and Order setup.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like the funniest thing ever, but like, hold on. I call.
It's very entertaining. Like, the premise of it's just very entertaining.
Yeah, it's a really good premise. It's also vaguely timely. Like you would think, oh, this is going to date itself because Law and Order won't always be that big. But we're wrong. It's still big right now. It's still in the air. So like, this is like the perfect joke to have a cartoon based off of.
Yeah.
This would have lasted forever. I think this thing worked as like there's jokes in it and like they're kind of funny, but this cartoon has like a Fillmore vibe to it, as in like there is like investigation and like bits there and jokes with it, but like it is like not playing it straight, but like playing it straight-ish.
Yeah, that yeah, I could see that. And like you said, with something like Fillmore, it is more like, oh, this is cool, you know, or like, oh, this is surprisingly clever or whatever, as opposed to being like laugh out loud, haha, funny. And like I said with Kitty Bobo, like I appreciate that. I like sometimes when a show is just kind of a vibe rather than just, you know, joke, being joke. Because I love that too, but I appreciate, you know, having like a really good vibe. You know, there's like, I'll always have preference for the jokes, but, you know, again, like, yeah, I can just appreciate when a thing is just like a well-constructed whatever. And I like, so, cause I've been watching it in the background here, just like, yeah, the resolution to it is like very silly, but it is also very like, you know, it is
real
like
police procedural.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's taking it so serious. And I feel like, I don't know, kids must fucking love, like, mysteries or police procedurals or things like, because there's, like, a ton of, like, kids' mystery books. That Scooby-Doo is, like, super popular forever, you know, and stuff like this. I wonder why it didn't get picked up.
Oh, I know why. It lost to fucking Megas XLR, dude.
Well,
literally bad luck. Bad fucking luck, dude. Because listen, I like this pilot a lot. Had a great time with this pilot. My motherfucker, it's Megas XLR. I don't know what to tell you.
That's the thing. Megas XLR is like top 3 favorite cartoons ever for me.
Cartoons so good they had to sell it to make money and never air it again. Like, but yeah, like this was really great. I think it does prove the theory of progression, which is like, I believe that like a lot of things are popular with kids because it lets them emulate and feel as though they're doing things their parents are doing.
Yeah. And
that's why this did good. This is why I thought this one was really good. This is why I like Fillmore so much. This is why I like a lot of stuff. Like, hell, this is why Total Drama Island is good.
Yeah.
It gives you the vibe of what your parents watch and enjoy, but for you and your demographic with jokes that fit your demographic. And I think that's like such a fun thing to like work with around for kids media. And it's a bummer they get picked up because man, this art style. It's like, it's like so, like this feels like the kind of art style you would see all the time on like cartoons or cartoons of just like shorts. and I love it. I love the lines. I love the shapes. I love the square, snout nose design thing. We don't really do that anymore, but I loved it in all those older cartoons. I just fucking love the way this thing looks. I had a great time. My partner also had a great time. My partner was not feeling Kitty Bobo. And it was liking this a lot. So it's just a lot.
So would you put this at 4 or 5?
I would say definitely 4, maybe a 5 if I'm feeling it. I do hope in the future someone gets because the thing about Lost Media when it comes to cartoons, tomorrow someone might fucking fuck around and find a DVD of this perfectly preserved. So I hope someone finds it because I would love to watch it in really good quality.
Oh, sweet. So the next one is extremely disappointing.
Oh man, it sucked. It did suck.
Fungus Among Us, which is by Wes Archer. So I was immediately like, oh shit, who he worked on King of the Hill and stuff, and as well as some
Rick and Morty, other stuff. He's everywhere. If you watch an adult cartoon, Wes Archer was on it.
Yeah, but I would say probably most well known for King of the Hill, being on King of the Hill,
and those original Tracy Ullman Simpson shorts too.
Yeah, and then. But watching this, I was like, oh, this looks very much like Futurama.
Yeah.
It has that kind of art style and animation, just without the matte graining character designs. And so I was going in, and I love Futurama, so I was hoping that it would be good. And it wasn't at all. It was a completely nothing, unfunny cartoon. In one where I'm like, there's no fucking way in hell this could be more than this episode. What are we doing here? What are we, you need to create a pilot is in order to, we've talked about this before, but it's to create an episode so that it could take off and be like, hey, here's the show in this situation, but we can put these characters in multiple different situations and it will be just as entertaining. I can't imagine watching more than one fucking episode of this shit because it's just all right, well, it kind of neatly resolves itself. It's not really that funny either, which is what the fuck? What is going on? You worked on all these funny shows and then it just created something that wasn't funny at all.
Also, the name's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because the name doesn't get across what it's actually about.
Yeah.
It's not particularly... The only thing I laughed at is when he beat the bad guy at the end, he wrapped him up and then burnt him on a lamp. That was kind of funny. Because it was kind of brutal. Basically, guys, this is about a cleaning solution superhero that fights grime in your bathroom at a microscopic level. Yeah. That's... There was Ali Bubble, which is a little bubble cleaning... they're all cleaning supply mascots. This is nothing. This is the most nothing pilot I've seen in a while.
This is the first draft idea you come up with of, I gotta think of a cartoon. And then they somehow took it all the way to the end instead of being no, I can think of a better idea and then trying to think of a better idea. And like you said, the name Fungus Among Us, so bad. It's so bad that it's hard to search because, well, not just because of Among Us, the game, but that's part of it. But that name has been used so many times throughout the history of human existence that there's so many cartoons that are just, they'll have a name of an episode or whatever, Fungus Among Us or whatever.
Why not name it after the superhero? Why not
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or if it's called Fungus Among Us, just have it be about the fungus.
The fungus guy. Yeah.
And then the heroes are the villain. They're the antagonists, and it's just fuck, we're just trying to live our normal life, and these fucking heroes are always coming in here and trying to fuck things up. And then have the episode end with them getting rid of them. Whereas this episode ends, he goes in, he kills the fungus, and it's all right. I guess we'll do this again next week.
There is a funny superhero joke in here. Like this. You would have no purpose without me. Yes, I know. As heroes and villains, we live a symbiotic relationship. Enough.
Yeah.
That's the only good joke in this. But this is nothing, man. This was nothing. I had to give it the 1, yo. I had to give it the 1. And guys, it's not getting better.
No, because the next one also...
Another dog shit name.
Colin Versus the World.
Guys, I want you to think, if I say Colin Versus the World, are you imagining a normal human kid or something doing stuff? Would you imagine a lizard who's trying, who's trying to win a like TV show? No.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's because you're normal.
Yeah. This one is very weird because because it's like a lizard and then like a cricket or something that's like following. That's like it's like, hey kid, we're gonna do stuff. It reminds me of the what the fuck with Moxie? That's it. The first ever show that we talked about on Cartoon BOO-foons with the flea that was
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
and then later.
Yeah. Man.
I do want to say, only notable thing about this fucking pilot is that the cricket is Peter. What the fuck is his name? Peter Sarah. Oh, that's a hell of a name. That's European as hell. I'm not fucking attempting that.
Celliers?
No, Sarah Fawn Woods.
Oh.
Only notable thing about it is that he's in it, and he's like a British funny guy. He's in Shaun of the Dead. He's also in the Sing movies. He's the gay little I'm Still Standing monkey's dad. And I noticed like, I know that voice, and that's all I could think about while watching this dreadful pilot. Was all the things that he's in that I like.
Yeah. And
he's also the sommelier in John Wick. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that this is a good looking pilot. Like the animation is good. Even though I don't really like the art style or the character designs. Like
yeah, me neither.
I don't. They feel very dated. Like it feels very like early 90s, whatever. Like it feels like this should have been one of the first pilots we watched. At this point, like it feels like so out of touch and out of date.
Yeah, like what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah, this feels like cartoons have evolved beyond this, but and it is in that category of like, oh, here's the dumb guy and the dumb smart guy, getting into hijinks and everything, and all that, like literally having like this dumb smart guy be like is like a Jiminy Cricket style, like I'm your conscience, I'm guiding your actions, whatever. I don't know. It's just like, man, it is interesting watching pilots because there will be some where you're like, man, that I would love to see a full show of this, or like this was a really good idea. It's sad that it didn't take off. And then like there's stuff like Fungus Among Us in this where it's like, this sucks, and I'm glad that they did.
Okay, we can't say I'm glad your passion went nowhere, but I don't know. I'm a little glad your passion went nowhere. But like, this was also deeply British, derogatorily. There's like sometimes cartoons are really British and just unfunny.
That is true. Like they're.
And don't get mad at me because guys, also some things are very American and unfunny. You know,
yeah.
Like Fungus Among Us, it's a quality. Both were bad in their own specific Anglo-Saxon ways.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, whenever we get to Gumball, that's a perfect example of. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit too controversial here, and maybe my opinion will change when we get to Gumball. Down the line. But
Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot slander Amazing World of Gumball in the like climate we live in. They will kill you. They will fucking kill you.
I just remember like somebody. Okay, oh God, am I gonna?
No, we can't do this. We can't do.
Well, I just remember that when when the presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump was going on, somebody posted a clip from Chowder, which is from an episode where it's Panini and Chowder are going against each other in an election. And then Chowder is like, do you want to elect her because she's a girl? And then, just like a dumb, completely nonsensical argument. And then like Panini going, slander. And then like, that's it. That's the clip. And then somebody was like, I like the Gumball version better, and posted like a fucking 2.5 minute clip from a Gumball episode where that was the same exact joke, but just like extended over 2.5 minutes. And I'm like, this is a fucking problem with Gumball, is that it's like, it takes a funny idea and stretches it out so much that it loses all comedy and just becomes super annoying by the end.
I'm going to throw up. I'm imagining you as like a YouTube rant Sona. This is the problem with Gumball. I'm losing my mind.
I would have like like a green wolf with his arms
crossed.
crossed.
One motion with his finger up. This is the problem. I don't know, man. I think. Listen, look.
But I mean, we'll talk about it when we get like way down the line.
There are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse when it comes to cartoon buffoons. It's Teen Titans, Young Justice, Adventure Time, and Gumball.
Yeah.
Cartoons that no one will be happy when we give our opinions of them.
Yeah.
That's just going to be the way it is. People are like, what's wrong with Adventure Time? Motherfucker is too long.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's not good in the middle. It's like eating a delicious sandwich with the best bread you ever had, and there's just a rotten piece of bologna in the middle. You're like, oh man, this bread is good as fuck.
Season 6. Jesus.
Who put this bad meat in here?
Why the fuck is season 5 so long? You know, just going
But
through
yeah,
it.
this one's a 2. It wasn't as bad as Fungus Among Us, but it wasn't funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's a shame because it kind of reminded me, like when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, it reminds me of that one, like the caveman one. What the fuck was the name of that one? From like Long Hair and Double Dome. From like a couple episodes ago where it was like it had like a very strong art style to it. But it's not as good as that one.
Yeah, because that one is like modern art. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's an incredible fucking. Like, I am shocked how good that pilot looks still.
Dude, we could you could take that pilot, replace all the dialogue with "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you."
Yeah,
and I would still be like, man, that's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that is a pretty good pilot. But yeah, this sucked. So there was really only 2 pilots I liked in this. Jeffery Cat, though, I will defer to you and say,
it was good. It was good.
Yeah. It looked interesting from watching it in the background on mute during the podcast. And again, like I like the art style. The character designs are very cute. You know, it has like that sort of like.
It has a fun gimmick too. Yeah.
Yeah, it has that. It has that like maybe comic strip or like.
It does feel very comic stricky. Like this would be like this by the guy that made Captain Underpants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that, or Big Nate or whatever. Like it has that kind of art style. So I really appreciate that. Ferret and Parrot, it sucked. Fungus Among Us was god awful. Just like one of the worst that we've seen. At least Ferret and Parrot sucked. But it's like one of those things that's so boring and generic that I could see it having more than
I started having a breakdown and like putting in place what would the other episodes be like, even though they would be bad.
Yeah.
My brain escaped containment, and I was like, let's make.
Whereas like Fungus Among Us, I'm just like, there's no way. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Is this gonna be the same exact episode over and over again? Like, there's no way. You just did your job poorly. Like, creating this. You wasted everybody's time and energy creating this. I'm sorry, Wes Archer.
Dude.
I love King of the Hill.
I love King of the Hill. I love the original Simpsons shorts. I also like the Simpsons. Shout out to you. This was ass, but we all got to make a little bit of ass, yo.
Yeah, that's true. But all right. Kind of a mixed bag for sure. You know,
but
like
that's kind of the nature of the pilot pile up, you know? Like some cars make it out scot-free, but they're still going to break down, which is why they don't get made. Other ones die in a beautiful destructive wreck and you don't get to go see your wife tonight. So I feel
like they're going to pilots are going to become a little bit more like notable, or like I said, that we're getting into some ones that are
we're gonna
hit a bit more well known.
We're hitting the bummer territory soon, which is what I like to call it, where we're going to see nothing but good pilots. And pissed they won't get made. I think we're going to hit that point where well, guys, it was funner to do these when they sucked, because now they're all good, and I'm like, why the fuck didn't this get made?
Yeah, and just to be clear, like I should ask you, do you think we should include things that are produced by Cartoon Network, even if it's for Adult Swim, like Korgoth of Barbaria?
Dude, I want to talk about Korgoth so bad. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think the artistic version of Burning Money rules.
Yes. Oh my god.
Guys, I'm not even kidding. Pilots should be more expensive and hurt companies' bottom line more. I'm not kidding. Like,
that's one of those pilots where, like, I remember seeing it as a kid and I was like, well, this is so good, surely it's going to get more episodes. And then it never did. And then I learned the reason why. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Fair.
We need pilots that make a CEO go in someone's office and go, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" That's the kind of money I need you to spend, dude.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, though, they're probably not gonna make a pilot anyway. You might as well hurt these motherfuckers' pockets. You might as well. The least you can do.
Yeah, I mean, there's like even just recently, there's a lot of like really great pilots that I was like, oh, surely this will be a show, and then nothing happened, and now Cartoon Network is a smoldering fucking crater in the ground.
You don't hear they want 3 more seasons of regular show, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, fucking Gingy's like, hey, I did make another Cartoon Network one. Like, shut the fuck up, white boy.
That you guys
make us a more
canceled.
regular show.
Yeah, fucking get in there.
He's white. Honestly, we have to talk about what the fuck is it called?
What?
No, his other cartoon that was on HBO Max. Fuck, my brain just went blank. Close enough.
Close enough. Yeah, okay.
That show has some fantastic fucking jokes in it. I do want to talk about that show.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about the the HBO Max shows that were clearly supposed to be on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, but then were just crammed onto HBO Max. Like I included like the Fungies and Jellystone.
Yeah. Okay.
And stuff like that, like in the lineup. That will obviously be like at the end, especially because God knows if we'll get that many more Cartoon Network shows. Like as we're going through this, I think there's like a couple more, but most of them are just like, Adventure Time side quests and the BMO show and
Foster's Home, but Blue learns about colors. Like
great,
Jesus,
big thumbs up. I'm sure Craig McCracken, genius cartoon creator, is really satisfied emotionally with making.
You know what? No, give him his money for doing this dumb shit, and then let Craig McCracken make his 9th cartoon about something else. Like you do.
Please.
Let him live his truth. Yeah. All right. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, we're done talking about pilots for now. Next time, though, I just wanted to take a little bit of a detour because we wanted to give everybody a little bit more time to watch through Kids Next Door, because this is
that motherfucker is long, dude.
Yeah, it is a long fucking and it's not a show like Billy and Mandy where it is. Billy and Mandy's long as fuck, but you can just skip around. It's very easy to skip around.
No, Kids Next Door be dropping goddamn lore on me and shit. I'm like, bro, not Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, every single like season premiere and season finale is like 40-minute episode that's like has all this lore or whatever. But yeah, so we'll do that next for sure. But just wanted to do this, and I don't know. I guess this will probably be the last episode for October. So there you go.
If you're out there and you're celebrating, I was about to say celebrating Halloween like this fucking Christmas. If you're out there trick-or-treating or putting on haunted masks that R.L. Stine made, enjoy yourself. Be safe. Yeah. They be putting fentanyl on them chocolate bars. Be careful.
Yeah. As we all know, the videos of like cops getting hit by the dust and then dying immediately. That's good stuff. But anyway, Morgan, where can we find you on this damn internet?
All right, everybody, it's bit time. My name is Morgan. You can find me at Girl Next Vor on Tumblr, on Co-Host Until It's Dead. It might be dead by the time this comes out. Fuck. Yeah. And also on Blue Sky. Blue Sky still exists, but Detective Olivia Benson is investigating it for some crimes it did. So I don't know. Blue Sky might be arrested by then. After that, you can also find me on Twitter, but it is a secret. You would definitely have to get a decoder ring and get all your favorite cereal brands and get the box top. Put them all together and you can find my Twitter. What about you, Wyatt? Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can go on to Twitter. You can find me at Wasp Ranger, WAZP Ranger. Mostly stream of consciousness stuff, but I do post about this podcast as well as my videos whenever I get around to doing them. If you want to check out my main channel, It's Only Magic. If you're listening to this on that channel, it's great.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. If you want to listen to the next episode, the Kids Next Door episode right now, you're on the channel, then $5 on Patreon. Also, It's Only Magic. Bam, you get it a week early. You get a bunch of other fun stuff. Patreon exclusive podcasts. Me and Cody reviewed every single Transformers movie. And they're all not very good. Except for the one that just came out. So we'll have to do a new episode of Robots in Disgust.
When I see it, you gotta have me on it.
Yeah,
I'm being told it's yaoi. It's yaoi filled, and I'm like, okay, we're finally seeing Orion Pax, and okay, I'm into it. Let's go. Yeah, they should make love on screen.
Yeah, that's when, because it will probably be released soon on like home video and everything. Because that's just how movies like get like a 1 month theater run, and then are just like shat out onto
streaming sites and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So like when that happens, we'll get together, we'll watch it. Well, we won't physically get together, but you two will separately watch it alone.
And then we talk about
and then we'll do a podcast about it.
We'll discourse over which hanky from the hanky code Optimus wears.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, yeah.
And then, what else? Oh, yeah. If you want to go check out my second channel, Planet Debes, go there. There's some Metroid topic videos and things like that. It's like I just didn't want to cram the main channel with those videos, so I decided to make a second one in case everybody was like, we want you to talk about Tiny Toons, not fucking Metroid. And I'm like, sorry.
Where's Muppet Babies, bitch?
Yeah,
I'll kill you.
I'm in a slump era right now, so I've just not had I've just not had the like drive to like make a new video for the cartoon channel. So the podcast is like basically keeping the channel alive for the time being. Probably we'll make one soon-ish.
Yeah. Guys, I'll force Wyatt at Plier.
Yeah, eventually. I do kind of have like right now. My current ideas are like I want to make a video on the Control Delete cartoon.
Insane.
And I want to discuss the fact that it's like, one, a huge piece of shit, but two, like, interesting that they made a cartoon based on like a bad webcomic like that, you know, and not like Penny Arcade, also bad, don't get me wrong, but way more popular and more respected for some reason than Control Delete. So I'm just like, this is a little confusing. But anyway, I'm Wyatt.
I'm Morgan.
Big thumbs up.
Later.
Watch us next time, and we'll get to some Kids Next Door. So see you there.
Later.